Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with FX Market Insight for the 18th of December. Right, as we inch towards the Christmas break, we're looking at the major currency pairs now. There's a few little odd moves that I've noticed. Our euro had a nice little breakdown through sort of 113, sort of 10-15 level on Friday. It's now sort of back up into the range. Now, this is the bit of an odd move, and to me, euro should be lower, but it's just suggesting that there's clearly a bit of weakness in the US dollar at the moment, and it's back in the range. I still think selling back towards 114, 114.10 looks a pretty good deal. Now, the big news though is sterling. It's trading in probably one of the narrowest ranges it's had in a long time, and this is after a whole heap of news. Theresa May's come out and said basically, if they don't take the deal, if you don't agree with me on this next vote, which is going to be after the new year, that basically there's no Brexit along those lines. So anyway, pretty hectic sort of news to sort of digest, and sterling really not doing anything. Now, if you look at the other correlating pairs with euro and sterling, the Aussie had drifted down last week. It's now sort of just looks like it's found fair value and is now trading sideways. Same for the battler, the Kiwi, I should say, the flightless bird. And if you come down to, if I just take you down to the dollar pairs, just having a look here, quick look across the board. The dollar index itself is drawing tool. It's just sort of tweaking through 97 sort of 20. It's overall, even in this hourly chart, I mean, it is breaking on this short-term support line, but it's still within the massive range. So no major deal at this stage. One thing though is, and I'll come across to this in a second, is the equity markets have taken a bit of a hit. Goldman Sachs getting belted. Got Malaysia trying to sue or is suing Goldman Sachs. And there's also a number of big I think IT stocks which are getting hit as well. We are seeing signs of actual seriousness here in the sense that dollar yen is lower. That's a yen. They're buying yen as a safe haven, and that's with this equity move. Now, dollar CAD just churning away sideways. And you'll see when I come back into the MyFX Trading Hub, I think dollar CAD is the only pair with an inkling of direction, and it's to the top side. We do have merchandise manufacturing sales out tomorrow, and it could be a bit of a trade, especially if oil keeps falling below 50 bucks. And dollar Swiss, as you can see, just following the dollar index down, once it broke down through 99.60, sort of just cleaned out some stops, and that's where we are there. So the dollar a little bit weaker against the Swiss. All right, now let's just have a look at what the raw nerve in the market is at this point, and I think right at the moment it's the equity markets. If you look at the Dow Jones, it's sort of been like on air all day talking about basic, that was sort of down about 0.3, 0.5, and it blew out to about 1.8. It's now still down 1.5%, but that's going to put you think, a sea of red in the Asian equities and a sea of red into the European equities as well. And that's after a pretty good smashing on their Mondays as well. So that's going to be a bit of an interesting one as we go into this. There's talk of, once you start to see a move in the equity markets like this, you do usually get the follow through of the dribble, which is carnage, chaos, all sorts of things. We do have the Fed on Wednesday, and that's going to be the real key event for the week. Whether they do raise interest rates or not, it's their last part of their plan. I think they will. And then they'll probably come out and just say, everything's back to normal from here. So the dollar one, though, just have a look at the dollar one below this, below where the equities are. It's now sort of just trading sideways, but starting to edge up towards 6.9 again. I think the market is looking a little bit more comfortable that the Bank of China isn't going to intervene anymore at this stage. And on the daily charts, you can see the dollar index here. It has been trading sideways pretty much since the end of October. Okay, so it hasn't really gone far. And don't get misled by some of the media stories out there suggesting that there's Armageddon's around the corner. It doesn't sort of appear to me to be the case. Now, up here on the major news, of course, Theresa May is going to be a major feature. That is without a doubt. And you've got, there's just news here attributed to dollar slides ahead of Fed rate decision on Wednesday. I don't think that's anything to do with it. It's more, just the markets are a little bit confused as they come into that holiday season. Equity markets getting hit. Do you buy dollars as a safe haven or not? I don't think the market's very sure at this stage, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But that's your general news as we get in the market sort of wrap as we start the week. Now, if I just come in and give you a bit of a look at the MyFX Trading Hub. Now, what we do have at the moment is it's pretty interesting. If you just come down here now, the Brexit market conditions. Well, the whole Brexit issue is easing somewhat. We do have some sort of key euro data coming out. That could be a pretty good opportunity on the euro coming out. There's nothing in the Asian session to really get excited about. And that's so if you are sort of planning a day around trading the Asian session, well, maybe just give it a break because there's no real drivers that are really going to give this thing a real good go. As far as the major currency pairs go, there's a lot of noise in the hourly charts, but the dollar CAD is the one pair which does actually have some sort of resemblance of direction. And if I come over here to the detailed page, and this isn't, there's, of course, oil is falling and that helps dollar CAD rally, but the main part to this is the technical picture. So medium term and long term charts, it still is sort of going up. So for me at the moment, short term it's sideways, but you can't deny the fact that it has broken up on the longer term charts, and that's where I'm getting that sort of bullish or mildly bullish signal on the CAD. Now coming down to sorry, just to come back to the major data there. Yeah, so just keep an eye on the German numbers now. Euro, it's back in the range. It's a little bit of an odd one. This data here will be important for the next leg of direction there. And after that, the CAD manufacturing sales. I like the CAD up above, and we could see a break above 134. Before this data, I'd ideally like it to stay below that trend line. Then we get the weak Canadian numbers, and dollar CAD shoots to the top side. It's probably going to be the easiest trade, and you'll see that reflected on the next best trades tomorrow. And that's pretty much it, guys. The markets are just reconnecting after the weekend. As I said, there's lots of news out there, a lot of geopolitical crap, and that's the sort of stuff that we're not looking for. Now, these news pages will light up very shortly with a lot of talk about the Fed. That is going to be the main game. So just hold your horses. There's plenty of trading opportunities coming up. And if you do follow the calendar, you'll see that as we go through the week, there's actually quite a number of key releases. So don't get caught up in the noisy price action just at the moment. All right, guys, that's it from me. Have a good trade day. I'll see you in the live trade zone. Cheerio.